From Nashville's WSM Radio, the original home of the Grand Ole Opry, this is a Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast.
Hey, it's Charlie Manos, and in this episode of our Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast, we sit down with a terrific young singer-songwriter from Del Rio, Texas, William Beckmann. He joined us on Friday morning. That night, he would be making his Grand Ole Opry debut. This was recorded on March the 3rd of 2023. Enjoy our Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast with William Beckmann.
Wait. You're William Beckmann.
Yes, sir.
You're debuting at the Grand Ole Opry.
That's right. Can you believe it? I can't. I still have to pinch myself a little bit.
Well, we'll take second best. You're now debuting on Coffee, Country, and Cody on WSM Radio.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
A mentor of yours, friend and mentor, put Del Rio, Texas on the country music map because he titled his album Del Rio, Texas, 1959.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Radney Foster.
Yes, and which spawned for Darius Rucker, Charleston, 1966.
Yes.
Because
which is a fantastic album as well.
Yeah, and but it just shows you how influential that album was for the next generation of stars that would come along.
Absolutely.
Did you know Radney's family? How did the two of you get to know each
other?
So
I'm 27 years old now, and I met Radney when I was about 15 or 16 years old, and at the time I was...
and what were the circumstances of your meeting?
Well, one of my high school teachers and Radney grew up together, and his name's John Wardlaw. He was my psychology teacher, and he knew that I was taking a liking towards music and knew Radney because they grew up together. And Radney Foster had come to Del Rio to do something. It was some kind of charity event, and so he set us up. He said, hey, I got this kid in my class, and he's always got a guitar, and he's always singing, and I think you ought to meet him because he's been bitten by the bug, and maybe you can help him out. And so I did. I met Radney, and it was a fantastic opportunity to sit down with such a experienced songwriter, and he got me into songwriting because at that time I really wasn't writing my own music. I was just kind of playing George Strait cover songs and playing whatever I could learn, 3 chords. And he asked me if I was writing any songs. I said no. He said, well, you better start getting to work. And he told me to write 100 songs in a year's time. And I did it. They were not very good songs, but I did my best to...
Well, Willie says the first 100 you write don't count.
Well, that's where he had gotten that advice from. So he was passing it along to me, which is funny. But yes.
So in the Mercado there in Del Rio, is there a statue of Radney Foster?
Not yet, but there should be. There will be.
I just wondered. Been a long time since I've been back down there because I came here almost 29 years ago. In April will be 29 years from San Antonio. So we made a lot of border runs with KKYX radio doing remote broadcasts along the border.
And Del Rio is pretty important. Del Rio and Acuna are pretty important in the history of radio with the Border Blaster and all that, and Wolfman Jack and kind of how that changed radio at the time. And Radney loves talking about that as well. But,
yeah, well, there's a whole series of books and documentaries and everything on border radio and the 100,000 watts that Mexico could get away with and you couldn't in the U.S. So you put your transmitter across the border, XERF, right, in Del Rio.
Yes, sir.
Across, licensed to Mexico, though.
Yes, sir.
But that also helped make Del Rio famous.
It did. Del Rio's famous for a few things.
Did you ever order any baby chicks, Charlie?
Well, we sold those at my first job in Nashville at the other end of the AM spectrum. Hossman on the WLAC used to sell the baby chicks. Not many of the chicks arrived alive, I think, was the problem when they got there.
So William Beckmann, if you just joined us, and he's debuting at the Grand Ole Opry here in a little bit. We always like to get the backstory on these debuts of how you got the news.
Well, I got the news. A friend of mine, Mr. Parker McCollum, FaceTimed me.
Boy, he's red hot.
Oh my goodness, he's amazing. Now I've been blessed with the opportunity to open up for him several times, and his fans are just fantastic.
That new single, "Handle on You."
Oh yes, sir, it's a great one. All his songs. He's really a great writer, and I'm glad to be able to call him a friend. And he's the one that FaceTimed me and broke the news to me. So I'm I was over the moon.
Well, you got a new album, Faded Memories.
Yes, sir.
Is the name of it. It came out. It's been out a little while.
It's been out a little while. But we had about 7 songs off that project, and I'm excited. I got a whole new project that's about to roll out as well. So we're just staying busy. Coming out of the pandemic, we just been pedal to the metal, trying to catch up and make up for lost time. And it's been really, really nice to see people come out to the shows again and to have new music out there for the fans to listen to.
How did you handle the pandemic? How'd you get through it?
Like everybody else, just one day at a time, I think. I really
did.
Did
you go back to Del Rio? Did you stay here?
Yes, sir, I did. I was back in Del Rio. I just kind of hunkered down with my whole family. But, it wasn't really as far as songs are concerned, I didn't do a whole lot of writing. I was just playing a lot of guitar and practicing and stuff. But it was, needless to say, it was kind of uninspiring, at least for me. I have other friends that said they were writing like crazy during the pandemic, and I couldn't. I didn't know what to say, to be quite honest. It was kind of a weird time for all of us. But thankfully, once things started picking back up, I was able to come back up here and write with some fantastic songwriters and some of my collaborators, and we were able to get back to work.
Did you by chance follow Toby Keith during the pandemic?
I think I'm not too sure if I did.
I can't remember if he was in Mexico and they couldn't get out, or he went there on purpose because he knew for the long haul he just wanted to be there.
Right.
But he would post a song, these cover songs and originals every single day. He'd just stand in front of the camera and knock one out.
That's amazing.
And his knowledge and his ability to remember lyrics of deep catalog stuff by other people was just amazing. But again, he did it all from Mexico.
I did a lot of that. I did a lot of cover songs and stuff that I kind of brushed up on things that I used to play.
Yeah, who's your go-to on your cover stuff?
My goodness, there's so many. I've got such a wide range of people that I grew up listening to and that I was a fan of. But I really love kind of old school traditional country. So Ray Price has always been a very, very big influence on me vocally, and he's actually got a few ties to Del Rio. Blondie Calderon was from Del Rio and was in Ray Price's band for decades.
Played piano.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. And he's got a restaurant called Memo's in Del Rio. It's got a little wall of fame, and everybody from Willie to Merle and everybody else has been there. Reba McEntire. They got a whole bunch of pictures on the wall. But Ray Price is definitely one of my biggest influences. So I'd always do the Christofferson song For the Good Times.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I'd put that on TikTok and just anywhere, just anything to keep myself busy. I was putting it out there.
So where's your favorite place to eat in Del Rio? Would it be there?
Memo's is definitely a go-to spot for a lot of people. So yes, I'd say that.
All right. So you're buying if we go?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. William Beckmann debuting at the Grand Ole Opry, new album, Faded Memories. Set this up. We'll be able to see it all over the world on Circle Television, people to hear it all over the world on WSM, and it's called Dance All Night Long. And if you know anything about Texas, if you go to a concert, you got to give them room to dance, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's watch and listen all over the world.
It's a little waltz for you.
Debuting at the Grand Ole Opry in just a few hours.
In the Mexican town of Acuña, Coahuila, I was down at the bar drinking beer and tequila. It was then when I saw the most beautiful señorita.
Charlie, it just occurred to me that come April the 25th, Billy Boy will have been here 29 years. My guest is 27-year-old William Beckmann.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Don't make eye contact.
No. I'm just doing the math. Pretty easy there. Yeah. So yeah.
I already did. That's why I brought it up. William, we appreciate you getting up early and coming in this morning. You got a big night ahead at the Opry. We're very excited for you. Charlie Maddles will bring you on, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Mark Wills is going to kick it off tonight. Maddie and Tay will be there. Jason Crabb. Then William makes his Opry debut. Jamie Johnson and Jordan Davis. That's the first half of the show. Second half, they're taping for Circle Television. Dierks Bentley, the album release event at the Opry tonight. Dierks and friends. I believe Ashley McBride and Jordan Davis are going to come back and do a little double duty as Dierks' friends tonight. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, recently we had Jason Carter, the fiddle man with Del McCoury for over 30 years. He debuted as a solo artist, much like you're doing tonight. He debuted, but he's only played it hundreds and hundreds of times as a member of Del McCoury, but never been the front man.
Wow.
And he's got a new album called Low Down, Hoedown that he and Dierks, actually that title track, they duet on.
I wonder if he was nervous.
So-
I wonder if he had any nerves. I've done this a million times, but now I'm in the front.
He was
standing in the
fact.
circle.
We talked about it, and he was promoting his new album, and Dirks was backstage. And he said, well, I hope he mentions the fact that I have a new album. It's available wherever you buy, download, or stream your favorite music. It's called Gravel and Gold, and that's what they'll celebrate that Charlie referenced tonight. William Beckmann will be at the Grand Ole Opry House with Charlie Matos hosting in just a few hours. And then on March 8th, he starts a Texas run back home in Texas. Waco, Corpus, Austin, Lampasas, and Concan. Lampasas. They may be from Waco, or out in Lampasas, but there's one thing for sure, Hoss. They all come from Texas. Texas women, Hank Williams Jr.
I think you could have hit all 7 New England states in your travels through one state of Texas right there.
That's
Could
right.
have done
I think
Rhode
you
Island,
should.
Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Get them all in there. So, yeah.
But William's new album, by the way, is Faded Memories, wherever you buy, download, or stream your favorite music. And again, he is headed to the Grand Ole Opry in a little while.
So is it easy to pick which songs you're going to do tonight? Were they no-brainers, or have you got a lot of thought has to go into it?
I had a little bit of what I discussed it with my management and everything. And Bourbon Whiskey is a traditional country song off of this last record that I put out. One that I'm very proud of. I wrote it here in Nashville when I'd first moved here. You see, I went to Belmont for a couple years,
Okay.
and so I initially moved to town to finish school. I was studying in Texas for a little while, and then I transferred over to Belmont and eventually graduated. But my first year that I moved here, I wrote that song, and I knew that it was really special because it was such a traditional and old-sounding song, and I finally got around to recording it. And so I'm playing that one.
All right.
Just feels right. It's the most
Okay.
country song I've got, so we're going to do that. And having grown up on the border, I've been influenced by Mexican music my entire life. I really enjoy singing mariachi music, and so I might just end up doing a song in Spanish, which I don't know. I don't know if people do that too often on the Opry stage, but hopefully they enjoy it because that's kind of what we do where I'm from.
I remember one night Stephanie Urbina Jones brought the whole mariachi band out there. So
Really?
so
Yeah.
and they loved
Linda
it.
Ronstadt too.
Oh,
I'm sure.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, in Dance the Night Away, you said there was a backstory on that video. And
Yeah,
that
Dance
pretty
All Night Long.
senorita
Yes,
that
sir.
we saw.
So what's funny about it is we did that video, and we filmed it in Mexico, in Acuña, which is the town that borders Del Rio, my hometown. And the folks, the gentlemen that we had do the music video were very talented videographers and have done several really, really cool music videos. But for this particular video, they insisted that we do it all in what they call a one shot, so like a one take, one from the beginning of the video to the end of it. It's all one consecutive shot, so which is cool to think about. But when it comes time to film it, you realize that if you mess up just once, then you have to start all the way back to the beginning.
So how many?
Well, here's the deal. We the story in the song, the storyline is I'm at the bar by myself. Pretty girl walks in, steals everybody's attention. I ask her to dance, and then and we dance the night away, and dance all night long. And mind you, it's a waltz. I can two-step. I'm from Texas. Everybody can two-step. Waltzing, I'm not as great at. So it took a little while, but we had to do it about 10 or 11 times before we finally got it right.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's
though.
not. Well,
No.
I didn't think so.
I thought you were going to say like 95
and
or something.
it was funny though because it wasn't her and I that her and I might have messed up or flubbed a couple different times, but there were times where it was the camera people saying, "Oh my gosh, we caught a light or something," and it ruined the whole.
It's not
take.
you; it's something technical.
Right. So we're like, okay, well, let's start back to square one. But it was really cool. I don't know if I'll ever do it again because of how intense it is to film like that. But it was a really cool video. I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad it came out the way it did.
In a bar in Acuña called Ma Crosby's, I felt myself not feeling any pain. I told a Frisco girl I'd come for freedom.
You want to hear that one? I'll
And
do
she's-
that one for you. I'm serious.
All right, whatever you feel.
Can I do cover songs?
Sure, absolutely you can. She said she'd only come to catch a train. George Strait, Blame It on Mexico, by the way, the opening lines, featuring the hometown of William Beckmann, who's debuting at the Opry.
in a bar in Acuna called Ma Crosby's. I found myself not feeling any pain. I told a Frisco girl I'd come for freedom. She said she'd only come to catch a train.
Is there a Mall Crosby's in Acuna?
There is.
Right.
It's closed down. It shut down. It's not open for business anymore. But it is there. It's a real place.
How about that?
And when I was a lot young, when I was a little kid, and it was open, we used to go there all the time.
How about that? Well, William, as we say in Texas, proud to know you, pard.
Yes, sir. Proud to know you. Thank you
go
so much.
easy
Thank
and
you so
have
much.
a wonderful time debuting at the Grand Ole Opry.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much.
All right. William Beckmann, Coffee Country and Cody, WSM Radio, Circle Television Worldwide.
Blame it on Mexico.
Thanks for listening to the Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And please leave us a 5-star review. This podcast was produced through the facilities of WSM Radio in Nashville, Tennessee. The hosts of Coffee, Country, and Cody are Bill Cody, Charlie Matos, and Kelly Sutton. Producer, Eric Markham. WSM General Manager and Director of Content and Programming, J. Patrick Tittle. Copyright 2023. Opry Entertainment Group Holdings, LLC.